There's a whole lot of evidence that confirms what we know intuitively, and that is it matters what we teach children. It matters what we teach children with regard to prenatal development. It affects their view of abortion and other related issues long into the future. But it matters a lot what we teach children about religion, and particularly our Christian faith. The Center for Bioethical Reform is not a Christian organization, but we are an organization of Christians. And we believe very strongly that there is a place in pro-life activism for us to share our faith in Christ. We don't come onto college campuses flying that flag, but we look for opportunities to share our faith when those opportunities present themselves. We take a secular approach to teaching prenatal development, etc., in a secular forum, but when we see opportunities to share our faith, we certainly take advantage of that. It matters what kids believe about religion, and it matters more specifically what they believe about faith in Christ. The recent issue of The Economist magazine quantifies some of that, and again, this is just common sense. It's not, there's nothing revolutionary about this. Research shows that religious pupils do better in schools. These are American studies. Pious pupils have higher grades, better attendance records, and complete more years of college. A child who regularly attends church will also have more adults in the community watching over them, and studies show that the more religious children are, the less likely they are to drink and use drugs, and they're also less likely to behave irresponsibly from a sexual point of view. Parents who attend weekly services or who teach their children about God may simply be more stable, but even within families, siblings who are more religious tend to academically outperform their brothers and sisters who are less religious. So it matters a great deal how religious, quote unquote, families are, and we don't merely want them to be religious. We want children to be taught Christian faith by parents who are living that faith, etc., because it has a dramatic effect not only on the way kids are likely to view the unborn, but also other important aspects of their lives. Now, I'm going to say something as a caveat, and I want to say it carefully. There is emerging in this country a Christian, so-called Christian nationalism sort of movement that takes the view that government ought to be teaching Christianity, and that government ought to be in the schools promoting Christianity, not merely teaching it as a comparative religion kind of thing where you teach the children the basic tenets of the great religions, the so-called Abrahamic religions. The Founding Fathers had that same debate, and they rejected the idea of that the American government should be a theocracy. They believed in religious freedom. They believed in pluralism. They believed that America ought to be a place that would be open to people of all faiths or no faiths, and that made America a beacon of liberty that was so important to the Founding Fathers that the Founding Fathers placed religious freedom, the idea that the government will support no establishment of religion, but nor will the government discriminate against anyone because of their religious faith. They placed that in the First Amendment, because they regarded it to be that important, and we share that belief. We are unabashedly Christian. We share our faith at every opportunity. We are not Christian nationalists, and I think it is inimical to the interest of the Christian church and the pro-life movement, etc., to get swept up in this attempt to turn America into some sort of a theocratic state. Jesus doesn't need the help of government to prevail. He needs people who are walking, living out their faith, sharing their faith, not sort of coercing the children in the classroom in a propagandistic way. That's not how Jesus operated, and certainly I don't believe it's how we should operate either.